What is with all of these adult men in their fucking 40s making videos on YouTube criticizing Disney for being too woke or DEI? Oh, wait, I know why. Money. Never mind. I don't need to know why. They're grifters. What in the fuck are you still listening to? The Quartering, I believe is his weird name. That dude with the weird eyes and the beard who is probably somewhere on the spectrum and not on the good part of the spectrum. And he's married, which is shocking, but you know the kind of guy he is, right? He's the kind of guy who won't leave the girl alone he likes. And he's the kind of guy who, drives her around on her dates. And finally just wore her down. Or she's an insecure weirdo. Who the fuck knows? But how would you let that man put his dick inside of you? But nevertheless, why are you people listening to the legal, what is it, the critical drinker? Or the nerd, is it Nerdrotic or nerd, whatever the fuck that dork's name is? Have you watched any of their videos? First of all, I love the aesthetics of it, right? You tune into these videos and what they're sitting there in front of their camera, if they show their face, but they're sitting there and they have toys behind them. Grown men have toys behind them on a special shelf or multiple shelves. This reminds me of the YouTubers, the intellectual quote-unquote YouTubers who sit in front of their bookshelves. Look, I read. Here's proof. So these guys are like, look, I'm a stunted adult. I'm an infantilized man. A man, boy, man. To quote Mojo Nixon. Look, I have toys behind me. Look, it's the Predator. Look, it's Indiana Jones. Look, I have toys because I am a child. It's so funny to watch these grown men who are so weak and such sad little dudes that they have to get with other weak and sad little dudes and make fun of Disney movies or some other films for being too woke. And they always are racist. They're always white guys who hate this shit because they're a bunch of bigoted assholes who use terms like Mary Sue and use terms like DEI Barbie, and use shit like that. And there's other words they use, but I don't really watch their videos, so I just see clips and I'm like, what the fuck are you people doing? I can't imagine being a person in their 40s watching these motherfucking morons, lie about movies, because every movie is woke or DEI. Every movie is woke. So this new Snow White is coming up with Rachel Ziegler. And Rachel Ziegler pissed off every white man on the YouTube algorithm, YouTube, by doing her press conference. They're not mad about the fact that they're not mad at Gal Gadot for being a Zionist, racist, bigoted piece of Israeli shit, because that's what Gal Gadot is. Gal Gadot is now, she wants to stand up for the hostages. Israel. What about the fucking Palestinian hostages, motherfucker? What about the genocide that's going on, Gal? You're a terrible fucking actress, but you're pretty. Hey, why don't you do another version of Imagine? Remember that when she did that during COVID? Her terrible rendition of Imagine with all the other sad, pathetic, desperate, weird celebrities. When Rachel Ziegler said that, Rachel Ziegler has a beautiful singing voice. She's an extremely talented person. And she actually stood up for the people of Palestine. Gaza. She said she wanted to end the genocide while her co-star, Gal Gadot, is a Zionist, right-wing Israeli Nazi. Rachel Ziegler's on the side of peace, on the side of love, on the side of goodness. Gal Gadot is not. But these fucking white boy dorks online who don't even know any people of color, but they criticize them constantly. Like, do you think any of these people know anybody of color other than outside of their world of gaming, where there's probably some gamers that are there? How many times do you think these guys have yelled the N-word while they're playing Call of Duty? Or whatever bullshit online fantasy game they're in because their lives are so terrible and they're so disconnected from reality that they have to live in a fantasy world constantly. This, and Rachel Ziegler, getting back to her and Snow White, I hope that movie makes $800 billion. I hope it's the biggest success Disney's ever had. And I hate Disney. I don't hate Disney because of DEI. I don't hate Disney because of any of that shit. I hate Disney because Disney sucks. Disney's movies are shit. Pixar's movies are shit. If you're still an adult and you don't have children and you're going to Disney World or Disneyland or you're watching Pixar movies, I gotta get out to the movie theater to see the newest Inside Out or whatever the fuck dumb shit you guys are watching. Grow up. Grow the fuck up. I have more respect for people that watch anime. Because at least anime on some levels is, and I don't watch anime because I'm a 48-year-old male. And I think if you get to a certain age, you got to let childish things go. But I can still appreciate anime because it's a little more adult themed. It's a little better written. It's a little better edited. It's better. It's cool. It's an interesting looking animation. Japanimation is what they used to call it. But these dorks, these guys are so lame. That guy, Critical Drinker, I watched a video and then I read excerpts from his book. It was one of the dumbest things. This guy claims to have made millions of dollars as a screenwriter, as a writer. I don't know where he made this millions of dollars. He is awful. He has no talent. He can't really write dialogue very crisply or well. Everything is on the lens of, it feels like I'm reading a Tom Clancy novel that somebody wrote after they read a Tom Clancy novel. This is the worst kind of terrorist, CIA, deep state, torture, Mission Impossible kind of bullshit. Overly macho, not clever, not self-aware, not needed or wanted. But he does it because he has enough money now from being the critical douchebag. And he can now spread his garbage, fictional stuff all over the place while criticizing actually good filmmakers, while criticizing movies that are actually well made. His movies are not. That movie he made, or the clip of it, the trailer, one of the worst things I've ever seen. Just terrible, not even serviceable. Like you would see this would be something on Mystery Science Theater 3000 or Riff Tracks, you know? So these guys they have developed these, and they all have the same audiences. If you looked at their subscribers, I'm sure you would find most of the people that are subscribed to the Critical Drinker are subscribed to Nerd whatever and the other one. And they're so profoundly douchebaggery. So you have to imagine the people that are watching their videos are bigger douchebags or lower douchebags. Or they're dumb. Because they can't really seriously take this serious. You know, it's a bunch of disgruntled white boys who've never had sex with anything other than their hand or a fleshlight. And they and I don't mean that in a bad way. If you want to save your most precious gift to the time you're married, great. But these boys aren't virgins by choice. These are incels. And so they are angry at women. They are angry at minorities. They are angry at everybody in the outside world, and they do nothing to change themselves. These are people that listen to Jordan Peterson. You need to clean your room. Your room must be clean. These are the same type of insecure males who sit around and they love Joe Rogan and they love all of the worst, dumbest, lowest hanging fruit they could possibly find because they're intellectually lazy and emotionally immature. And these fucking people, they spend money. Apparently, they love Patreon. They can't wait to give the Critical Drinker $5 a month on Patreon or buy his merch, I guess. But this constant state of outrage theater is all YouTube is now. All YouTube is outrage theater for a lot of these people. It's either videos that just show other videos and they comment on them, or this is the outrage theater. I'm going to do my best Irish accent or Scottish accent. I don't even know what he is. Critical Drinker. Hey, dare you, Disney, not put white males and have all these Marys. It's not okay. It makes me feel insecure. Because when I watch movies and television shows, I don't see just white males and white women anymore. I see, and it got to a little bit of a South African accent, but you get the idea. He's a grifter. He is grifting you. He is not sincere. His movie reviews are basically he watched the movie or listened to it in the background and then already has a preconceived, I can imagine he has like an outline for every one of his videos. And it says on top, begin with woke commentary, end with woke commentary. Why the fuck do you care about Snow White? as a grown 40-year-old man. And don't give me that thing, well, Jason, they say they're kid movies, but that's not true. A lot of these Marvel movies and a lot of this stuff, no, they're PG-13, retard PG. Stop watching them. Seriously, stop living in a world of forced nostalgia. Just grow the fuck up and get a life. I don't know if you ever saw the William Shatner sketch from Saturday Night Live when he hosted Saturday Night Live in the 80s. And he's at a Star Trek convention. And Dana Carvey and Kevin Nealon and the 80s cast, the late 80s cast of SNL. And they're at a conference and they're asking him all these really ridiculously detailed questions like, I can't remember, but it's paraphrasing. It's like, in episode 4 of season 3, when you were talking to the Romulans, what was the brand of, kind of that Trekkie shit? Like, you're too much of a fan of fiction. Like, you need to maybe go read some history. But anyway, go read some nonfiction. But, and he says, William Shatner says, famously, he says, I just want one thing to say. Get a life. Move out of your parents' basements. Like, in the 80s. This fandom of things from your childhood and nostalgia has been around forever. It's not a hard thing. They did it in the 80s a lot. I mean, from everything from, we had the famous movie or infamous movie, 2010, The Year We Make Contact, which was a fucking terrible sequel to 2001, A Space Odyssey, while Kubrick was still alive. This is what Hollywood is. This is what they just recycle. The Two Jakes. Does anyone remember The Two Jakes? The sequel to Chinatown? The terrible sequel to Chinatown. And there were others that I'm missing, believe me. There are many others, weird sequels that came out in the 80s for movies that were in either the 60s or early 70s. It's nostalgia. It's just regurgitating the past and rinsing it out for more than it's worth. But anyway, these nerds, these fucking dorky guys who you wouldn't even want to be friends with, let alone read their fiction or look into their creative backgrounds. A lot of people create and are successful creating that don't care whether it's good or not. They only care whether it's successful. They're not self-aware enough to say, I'm not a good writer. So they just write. What did the famous author of In Cold Blood say about, I believe it was Valley of the Dolls? Was it Valley of the Dolls? And he said, it's not writing, it's typing. And that's what Will Jordan's movies are. And I do know his real name because he put it on his trailer. I do know what the Critical Drinker, he's not writing, he's typing. He doesn't really have the talent that he thinks he has. He's got some Dunning-Kruger effect in his whole life. And he's serving a group of people who are dumber than he is. I'll reiterate, every podcast that you morons listen to, they are smarter than you, and they know they're smarter than you. They know they're more educated than you, and you listen to them because you don't have an opinion. You're not smart enough to gauge your own opinion, to make an opinion about something, to really be detailed about it. So you listen to other people, gain their opinion, and then regurgitate their opinion online. This has been Truman Capote was the name of the writer. I just remembered. Anyway, but that's what these people aren't. This is content, not art. This is content, not quality. This is volume, not importance. They are not talented people. They are not even entertaining if you really look at their videos. Take away their clips that they show the same clips over and over again in their videos because, they don't want to get copyright infringement. So they'll show a trailer and they'll just keep showing clips from the trailer or whatever. They're not good videos. They're not good film analysis. Rob Ager does some good film analysis. There's a bunch of different people online that really do good film analysis. This is all just about getting you outraged. Outraged clickbait. Keep clicking, click subscribe, Patreon, outrage. That's all it is. So stop listening to these fucking grown-ass 40-year-olds, almost 50, some of them, talking about fucking monsters flying in spaceships, for Christ's fucking sake. Grow up and stop being a child. Put your fucking childish things the fuck away. Put your toys away. Stop collecting fucking toys. Thank you very much. And have a good day.